Hello friends, welcome to your Infotech channel. So in this session, I would like to explain JavaScript functions. Okay, so in functions, a function is nothing but it is used to reusable the code. Okay, and when you're developing an application, you often need to perform some actions in many places. Okay, so for example, you may want to show some message whenever the error code occurs. Okay, to avoid the repeating of the same code all over the places. Okay, so you can use some functions to wrap it the code and we can reuse this anywhere. So wherever you want, you can reuse that one. Okay, in JavaScript we have provided many inbuilt functions such as we use parseInt, path path float. Okay, now we will learn how to create our custom functions here. Okay, to declare a function, so we use function keyword, okay, followed by the function name, and we have a list of parameters, and we have a function body. Okay, so let me create function here. Let me create new file. Okay, and I can save the file with functions.html. Okay, so I want to save this one in my source file. Functions, functions style, which one, background color dark sky blue, color white, font size 20 pixels. Right click, open in default browser. Okay, and I may take here font size 40 pixels, padding 20 pixels. Okay, and let me create here a script tag. So create a function here. To create a function, okay, so we use here function as a keyword and followed by the function name. Okay, and to create the function here, so I may take here function name, so followed by here you can write the parameters, okay, or else you can follow by arguments. Okay, so the parameters, and inside of this we'll write here function body. So like we can create a function in JavaScript. Okay, this is a syntax for creating the function. Okay, the function we can create in JavaScript, it can be accept either 0 or 1 or multiple parameters. So in case of multiple parameters, so we need to use a comma separated, okay, comma separated values. So let's say an example. Okay, I may create one function here, function, so great. So this is my function here. Okay, to create a function like this, function name, and this is a default parameter, so we don't have any parameters here, and I'll provide okay, one parameter, function with one parameter. Okay, for this let me create here function. I may take this is my function name, square. I may take here like this, the function with one parameter, and similarly let me create a function with the two parameters. Okay, two parameters. For two parameters we may write here function add, so I may take here a comma b. Okay, so this is another function with two parameters. So this is the default one, this is our one parameter, and this function accept two parameters here. Okay, so in order to print them functions, okay, we use some console log statements in order to print some functions here. So there are many output statements we have. Okay, and let me call one function here, function. Okay, so let's say this is my example, say is some function. So I want to display some message here. Okay, let's say message, and the same message I want to print here using console.log. Console.log. So I may print here message. So like we can use this one. Okay, now how do you call this function? To calling this function, so we use here function name and arguments. To calling the function, so we will write here function name arguments. Okay, now to call this function here, let's say like I may take here hello JavaScript. Hello JavaScript. Let me run this one on the browser. So go to this browser once, let's reload this page. Okay, go to this inspect, go to this console part. So hello JavaScript. Like we can call the function here. Okay, and similarly, okay, so when you return the values here, okay, so how to return the values in the sense, so it's the same function. Okay, so here is the same function. I may take here. Okay, so this I'm taking here. Let result equal to, okay, this is a function I have, and I'm trying to print here console.log. Okay, console.log, the result is, okay, so I may take comma on result. I want to print this message. Okay, see, every function in JavaScript is implicitly written undefined value. Okay, until unless you not specify any return statement. Okay, if you didn't put in return statement in function, so obviously it will returns okay, undefined. This is implicit functions we have. Okay, so when you run this one in the browser, so you may get here sorry, result is not defined. I have mistaken this one. Okay, now when you reload this function, so you may get here result is undefined. Okay, so because of okay, so because of we didn't write any return statement here. Okay, so I want to return this message. Okay, so we'll write here return message. So now we'll get here a perfect output for this function. Okay, let's reload this. So I may get here hello JavaScript. Like, okay, so like we need to place here, okay, return statement. Now coming to here, so here I'll write these two parameters, right? So inside I'm just writing some return statement for this. So I may take your return, okay, a plus b. So I may calling this function using this one reference variable. Okay, directly you can also call this one instead of reference. So here I'm just creating one some reference variable. So inside of this I'm calling this function here. Okay, add. So I may take 20 comma 40. Okay, so now I print this value console.log. Okay, the sum of two numbers is, we may write here sum of two numbers. Okay, so I may take here some value. So go to this browser once, let's reload this page. Okay, the sum of two numbers is 60. Okay, and you have to change this value here. So you may get here different outputs here. So you may get here 120. Okay, and the same way the function having Okay, multiple parameters. Okay, let me take here, this is a function one parameter, right? So here also you can take your return a. Okay, so you may write let okay, so let multiply equal to. Okay, so I may take your square. One second. So here I'm just calling let multiple square. I may print here 30 value. Okay, so next I'm taking here console.log. Okay, for this I may print mul. Okay, now let me go to this browser once. Let's reload this page. I may get here 30 value. This is single parameter. And coming to here, so we have default is right. So you may directly write some values inside of this. Okay, you can write here the console log statement, console.log. Welcome to UI Infotech channel. Okay, I'm just calling this function, calling function with the function name. So you may write here grade. Okay, so let's go to this page, just reload this page. Welcome to your Infotech channel. Okay, so like we can use this okay functions now. So I want to display function with the two parameters. Okay, like a function with the two return statement. Okay, so how to access this two return statements here? A function with two return statements. Okay, so for this let me add a function. I'm taking here x comma y. So we need to write function name. I'm just adding compare function. So I want to compare these two values. Okay, so here I'm taking one conditional statement. If x greater than y equal to. Okay, so I want to print here. So just I may return so I may return here -1. Okay, else if I might take else if. Okay, so if x less than y. Okay, so I want to print here return 1. Return 1. Okay, next in case, so in case if there is nothing happen, you may take here return 0 value. Okay, now let me call this function here. To call this function, I'm just taking here compare value, compare. Okay, 40 comma 50. Okay, let me go to this see, now we need to write in a print statement, right? So I'm taking here console.log. Okay, so indirectly itself I'm calling here, so I'm just pasting here itself. Okay, and remove this semicolon. Now go to this browser, just reload this page, so you may get here one value. Okay, so if the given argument, okay, the first argument, so if greater than the second one, okay, then -1 will be written. And if the first argument is less than the second one, 1 is written. Okay, and 0 if the argument is equal to the second one. If we give the two equal values, it will return 0 value here. Okay, so next we have passed some arguments here. Okay, so how to pass an arguments in the function, like arguments objects. So how to pass this one? Okay, so for this, let me add one more function here, function addition. Okay, so for this addition, I may add so I may take here, let sum equal to 0. Okay, I'm using some for loop here. Let let I equal to 0. Okay, I. Okay, so I less than, so I may take your arguments. Okay, arguments dot length function. Okay, argument dot length. Now I'm taking here I plus plus. Okay, so inside of this one, I may take here inside of for loop, I may take here the sum value. Sum, I'm using here arithmetic assignment operator. So arguments inside I'm taking here I value. Okay, now I want to return something, so return some value. Okay, so I'm calling this function, so I may pass the values here. Okay, console.log. Okay, so I may take addition function. Okay, inside of function name 23 45 67. Okay, so I'm passing here three values. Okay, so when you run this one on the browser, so we'll get the sum here, and you may pass n number of arguments here. So like you can take here 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9. Okay, and you may also pass like two values like this. Okay, so we'll get different outputs here. So like we can use here, okay, the arguments, and we can use the length property, okay, for argument objects to determine the number of arguments. Okay, so this is a code for creating this arguments. Okay, so next we have one more concept is hoisting. So hoisting in JavaScript. Okay, so hoisting in JavaScript, hoisting function. Okay, so hoisting is nothing but, okay, we can use a function, okay, before declaring it. Okay, so before declaring of the function, we can directly call the function is nothing but hoisting. So you can take an example here. I'm gonna take here show me, this is a function I have. Okay, I'm directly calling this one. This is nothing but a hoisting example. Hoisting example. So now I'm creating one function with show me, and I want to display some message here. Okay, function name. Okay, so I may take here console.log. Okay, so this is right, it is an hoisting, it is a hoisting example. It's like, or else it is a hoisting function. Okay, so this is feature is called hoisting. Okay, so for hoisting, okay, so hoisting is nothing but when the JavaScript engine executes the JavaScript code, okay, it creates like a global execution context. Okay, it created two phases. One is a creation and one is an execution. Okay, so we have different types of hoistings available here. So that will be explained in coming up session. We have a separate concept is called a JavaScript hoisting. So there we will learn about this hoisting. So this is an example for creating this hoisting. Okay, so use the function to declare the function. Okay, and use this function name to call the function name. Okay, and we can use the return statement to return this value from the function explicitly, and we use arguments in the variables of an array, okay, like an object inside of a function. So that's about the functions in JavaScript.